What's up? Welcome back to the channel. Bob Moss Hobbies here with another Old World Battle Report. This is another little practice game for my upcoming tournament at a local hobby store. Playing against Vampire Counts today on the third scenario at the event. It's going to be Strategic Locations 4 and special feature in the center. So we have the board set up like that. We'll go through the lists here really quick. My list is the same as my last battle report. In case you didn't watch, Prince on Star Dragon with great weapon, Armor of Calidor, the triple save with a 2-up ward save in there in case I get multi-wounded. I have my Archmage with triple save, Talisman of Protection, Seed of Rebirth on Battle Magic, basically just for Hammer Hand. I have 8 Silver Helms. They have the Ring of Fury and a War Banner, 14 Archers, 5 Silver Helms with the Ring of Fury, 2 Lothran Skycutters. They have the Bolt Throwers. Yeah, they still have the Bolt Throwers in this game, spoilers, and 2 units of 5 Sisters of Avalon, one with the Bow of the Seafarer. No, this list has 11 Sisters of Avalon with the Bow of the Seafarer. So spoilers for next battle report. I split them up. And onto my opponent's list. This is actually Zen Fox Games. He's another YouTuber. He's a local guy here. We are going to be playing against each other a bunch in the coming months, years, however long we play Old World together, I guess. And so his vampire counts. He has the 5 dire wolves. He's got 20 zombies, 25 graveguard, another 20 zombies. He's got 2 tomb banshees in the back there, a white lord in the graveguard unit here. He's got the white lord's a battle standard bearer with ruby ring of ruin charm shield, I believe. He's got a master necromancer and a vampire count, level 2 wizard, zombie dragon, talisman of protection on illusion magic. Trying to get doppelganger off. I think he got it off once in the game. And then he's got over there in the corner, I think it's 9 blood knights, the big scary blood knights. And yeah, I believe he got turn 1. So let's go into vampire counts turn 1. Before we do that, I'll have the link in the description. ZenFox, he actually has this same battle report up on his channel already from his perspective, so he'll actually have his list in more detail. I don't have the full list in front of me. I'm piecing it together off of a couple lists that he's posted. Anyway, into vampire counts turn 1. So turn 1, I believe he only got the reserve move off on the 1 unit of zombies. He started off rezzing the zombies, just moved up, pretty basic. Turn 1, because I had my dragons on the right opposite his blood knights, he kind of didn't know exactly what to do with them. He knew we were going to be fighting there at some point. This way he scores 2 objectives to my 1, and we'll go right into High Elves turn 2, because I don't think much else happened. He has no shooting. I think he got off a couple little buff spells that didn't come into effect in this turn. So High Elf turn 1, I move forward. On the right, I move my dragons, my chariots, my silver helm block, all forward. Chariots are going on a big flanking maneuver, silver helms to take the objective. And then on the left, so I completely whiffed and forgot his dire wolves have reserve move. I was like within march blocking range, so I was expecting them to charge, and I believe my silver helms could just eat that charge and then fight back with a 3-up armor save. But he reserve move, right? You'll see reserve move right past me, and then I didn't quite know what to do with my shooting either against vampire counts, because they can just bring back the wounds. I've realized after playing the tournament to shoot into their monsters, because they can only bring back 1 wound per turn. So if you chip off 2 or 3, you can, maybe start to out heal or out damage their heal on the monster, and then my dragons could do work. And so my dragons couldn't fit beside each other, so I swapped in a base. And vampire counts turn 2. So turn 1 pretty uneventful. Turn 2, like I said, dire wolves move past me, zombies move forward. So I was getting march blocked on the left flank. His Graveguard came forward. The Blood Knights backed up a little bit, and then things just kind of positioned for combat. A couple more zombies resurrected. Couple buff spells got off just in case. And then straight into High Elf turn 2. So pretty quick battle reports. I think it was actually a pretty quick game. It was pretty cagey game. Like, look, on my turn 2, I've moved my Silver Helms backwards because I failed the leadership test on the march block, so I just moved them backwards a few inches so that the zombies couldn't charge them. I messed up with my sisters because I wanted to shoot the Blood Knights, but I didn't quite realize, the large target zombie dragon can see over those Graveguard, and that didn't go well for me. And then I just positioned my chariots for the charge on the next turn, inched forward a little bit, so I was like, he was inside my charge range, but I was outside his because I out charged him or whatever. Yeah, outranged him. So I was forcing his Blood Knights back, and just still being really cagey into the Vampire Count's turn 3. So he accepts that the Blood Knights are going to get charged, so he drills them out and kind of moves them to make sure he doesn't get flank charged. Moves the zombies forward to maybe block a base or something, or come forward to get that objective. He's still scoring that objective. So at this point we were scoring 2-2. But as you can see, he got his zombie dragon into my sisters. His Graveguard's coming forward to threaten my archers. His direwolves are coming around the back. And this made me realize I need to be more aware of the positioning of my ranged units. I can't just leave them on the deployment line and have them shoot. I should have had the archers back further, or backing up as the Graveguard come towards them, so they can back up 2.5 inches and still shoot. The Helms on the left still don't quite know what to do. They don't want to take that fight. The zombies, they're going to take them. So I should have just reformed and turned to come in to support the archers, maybe charge the flank of the Graveguard or charge the direwolves before they're able to get the archers. And yeah, so in the combat, I challenged the zombie dragon, or maybe I forgot to challenge the zombie dragon. Yeah, I think I actually forgot to challenge the zombie dragon, so he just wiped the whole unit because he got his doppelganger off. So that made me, realize I need to challenge the unit. And actually, after the tournament, I realized I need to put a champion into the archers, because then if they get charged by a big monster, I can do the whole challenge bullshit mechanic. I actually hate it, but it is what it is. So he wins that combat. He restrains and reforms to look towards my dragons at the end of that, and we go into the High Elf turn 3, in which I get off a big combo charge. He counter charges with his Blood Knights, so my one Sky Cutter ends up in his flank, my other Sky Cutter in his front, my Prince in his front, and I should have put the Archmage in his front as well, but I wanted to kind of just wipe this whole side, so I put the Helms and the Archmage into the zombies, and that went well. We end up doing 20 wounds. Oh, maybe I didn't. I'm sorry with the combat. I definitely did challenge the dragon, because those sisters are still there while I'm charging. So then they die on my turn, and he reforms so that he can get a charge on his turn if he wants. That's what happened there. My apologies. So with this combat, it actually goes very well for me. I do 20 wounds to the zombies. They end up crumbling, and I overrun because I wanted the chance to hit one of these guys. The the Necromancer and the Banshees were right there. So if I move straight forward and they failed it's like an initiative test. So if they failed their initiative test to evade, then I hit them, and the mage does have magical attacks, so he could, kill them even though they're ethereal. So that was my plan, but he passed his initiative tests and got out of the way. So they just overran the Blood Knights. I believe I killed 4 of them, 1 in the challenge, 3 with the chariots. They struck back, killed one of my chariots because they have Totem of Wrath, so they're at AP 3 and re-rolling ones to wound. So yeah, my chariot just didn't have any armor saves. But yeah, that combat went well, but it goes not so well because obviously I didn't wipe the unit, so he can just bring them back. Where if I put the Archmage in there, I probably get those extra wounds, and that unit's gone, and then I can turn and face the zombies, and the whole battle would go different for me. It's crazy how like one decision can change things. So here you can just quickly see he killed the sisters and reformed, and then going into his turn, he charges into the flank of my prince. His Blood Knights, his Blood Knights drilled on their fallback in good order, I believe. Oh no, sorry, no, that's how his Blood Knights got resurrected, because they have to add to the back rank. So he got all of them back. He's got all 9 now. He actually declared the charge into my Silver Helms, so they're actually fleeing right now, is what they're doing. And then he redirected into my prince. That combat goes okay. I mean, I lost, but my chariot falls back in good order. My prince gives ground, so he stays in the flank of my prince, and then he follows up into my chariot. So that chariot is definitely dead on the next turn. Also in the center, his Graveguard, trying to decipher, sorry. His Graveguard and his wolves charged into my archers, and they obviously broke the unit, and then they fled. The wolves pursued them and caught them, and then the Graveguard, or I think the Graveguard might have pursued too, but they hit the impassable terrain or whatever. But yeah, there's 3 wolves pursuing my archers. So then High Elf turn 4, I finally move the Silver Helms over to fight something. They're going to go kill those wolves. The prince is in combat, the chariot's in combat, the archers rally. Oh, he got some screams off on my Archmage. So my Archmage dragon only has 2 wounds left. So I just flew him away so that I would save. He already gets half the points. I'm not giving him the full points, kind of, because we were practicing for the tournament, you know. So the combats, the Blood Knights kill the chariot, restrain and reform. I kind of messed up with my Silver Helms as well, because they rallied. So I should have rallied and then pointed them towards the hill that's on the Vampire Count side there, and just left them within 6 inches of the objective, so they're scoring, but then they'd be out of, because the Blood Knights, they kill the chariot and they restrain and reform, and then they turn around and they're facing me on the Vampire Count's turn. So then he charges in, obviously, and if I was just further away, you know, it's a further charge for him. He's probably charging the Blood Knights back into the prince rather than pursuing Silver Helms, scoring 30 points a turn. Anyway, the prince gives ground again because he was in the flank. He restrains to charge next turn rather than follow up, so he gets a bit of an initiative bonus. So he charges in with the Blood Knights, kills the Silver Helms, charges in with the, what's his name, the zombie dragon. I fall back in good order, so I'm able to face him, so he's no longer in my flank. His Graveguard moves, his wolves move. Yeah, it's going, I mean, yeah, not so well for me. A lot of my stuff, my big stuff is dead at this point. Well, my big units, my dragons are still alive. So I end up killing his zombie dragon and then pursuing into the tower. So his necromancer didn't have to evade, because I just hit the wall that was on. Yeah, this is High Elf, my turn, because my Archmage moved. So then going into his turn, he's scoring 2 objectives. I'm scoring none. I have two dragons left and my Silver Helms. So he does a little cheeky charge into the dragon's rear, because I don't have any magic attacks. So he actually wins that combat with a rear charge. And then I rolled really high and I fled, but then he rolled just a little bit, like he just barely didn't catch me, like by 1 inch. So my prince is fleeing from a banshee sitting in front of the Graveguard. Luckily it was my turn next, so I got to rally. He moved his wolves to protect his graveyard, so I couldn't get a flank with the silver helms. So the silver helms wiped them out. The archmage just went and looked scary in front of the zombies. And that was basically it. I did rally the prince at the end of the game, so he doesn't get the points for that. But, you know, he gets half the points for the archmage. And then he got the rest of my army. So he got over 1,000 kill points. Plus, he was scoring like 2 objectives at all times. So he definitely got the win on this one. And it really opened my eyes to what I need to do versus vampire counts. And how to direct my charges and really play in the ranges. Sorry if this wasn't the most detailed battle report. This game, as at my point of recording, was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago, and I've played a bunch of games since then. So I'm just going off the pictures. I got the basic flow right, and the result for sure. He definitely wins the game by quite a bit because the Blood Knight, yeah, he's got like 1,000 points left on the board. Yeah, but he's also going to get the special feature, which is another 250. Yeah, so if you liked it, like it. Let me know what you guys do to counter vampire counts in the comments. Subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye now.